CaroCoach, #1 rated Horde player in blitz, in rapid, and if you check, also in bullet. And if you check the hyper category, #3. So they are #1 in 3 out of 4 of the Horde categories. So I thought I might as well look at their games to see how they play. So I went to their games. What I found was that they won 8 consecutive games against former 2400 Kangi 2. Let's look at the first game. I actually have the games here, so this was the first game. And it's a normal opening. D6 is a bit bad, but it's fine. And if you look all the way here, you can tell that white is losing. Absolutely. These pawns are too far behind. But what happens in this position? They resign. Kangi 2 resigns in a completely winning position. Let's check the second game. This was the first game. Second game. Second game, they go into the C6 line. They oddly take, but I mean, I think this is a bad move, but it's fine. It's not too bad. And they go into this line. And you think, alright, it's a normal game. Let's check the next one. Actually, let's check. Where was it? Actually, yeah, no, that was a pretty normal game. Game 2 was normal. Let's look at game 3. And we reach this position where you have a king and a queen against 3 files of pawns, which is typically winning. And in this position, black is obviously winning, but they resign. Why? Is it because this is just an alternate account of CaroCoach and they're trying to boost their own rating? I don't know. This game, the opening's a bit odd, well, unusual. But Kangi just simply blunders and is losing all of these pawns. So they decide to resign, and I think it's a fair choice. This one makes sense. Now this is probably one of the weirdest games. Here, in this position, you have a rook, queen, and a king against 3 files of pawns, and white is about to lose even more pawns. But for some reason, black resigns in a completely winning position. Let's look at this game. This game seemed fine. I believe that if this, the problem is this, and if you take this, and if here you're losing, and had they taken, this probably would have been winning for white, because the queen is stuck guarding this f6 push. For example, this would lose for black. Instead, they go for a losing line, even though they had a lot of time, but you know, they might have just missed it genuinely, and they end up losing. So you can notice that every single game they resign, and that every single game they have a fair amount of time. This is probably one of the weirdest ones. In this position, this is very simple win for black, because the king can never get checkmated by these pawns since there's only 2 files. And as Screechy123 always says, 2 files against a king is always gonna be a win, as long as you have moves. But in this position, again, Kang E2 resigns with 3 minutes and 26 seconds on the clock. That's greater than the initial time. And in this game, CaroCoach with the black pieces eventually ends up in a predicament. In this position, there is no way to stop promotion on c8, because if here the rook is hanging, and in this position white is clearly winning. I mean, here this is the only legal move other than taking, and if here this is mate, and if king mix goes here, this is mate. So white had checkmate, forced checkmate, in at least 2, really, or should I say 3, and they decided to resign. I believe that CaroCoach is in fact also Kang E2, and that they're just trying to get a higher rating by using multiple accounts. Another theory that could be plausible is that Kang E2 is a good friend of CaroCoach, and Kang E2 is sandbagging. But in either way, sandbagging is not allowed on Lichess or on chess.com and Lichess. And CaroCoach, if they are using multiple accounts to get #1 rating in Horde, is obviously not good as well. I have checked out their other games, and they seem completely fine. I checked out this game, where they played the same c6 line, where they take on b5 and play a4, which I think is a bad line for black. and they just decide to forfeit on time. So perhaps they really did disconnect, or maybe they just left. So I've checked their account. This one was made on November 14. To check, they do not have a lot of games. As you can see, they have only played 5 games. So obviously, they are an alternate account. This could be, and this is most likely an alternate account of strong players on chess.com, and perhaps is an alternate account of Kangmi too. I have an alternate account called Estanatic. As you can see, I have played CaroCoach. I've beaten them. As you can see, I feel that they aren't as strong as their rating really says. I feel that they might just in fact be someone who is on multiple accounts. And I know I've said that many times, but it's really unacceptable to be doing this, because there are many other strong players that deserve to be in the spotlight, and not someone who creates a new account and uses another account to gain rating. And even though I have multiple accounts, if you search, you can see that I've never played myself. And I do not try to raise my rating by playing myself. And I think it's important to understand when someone is in the wrong and when they should be stopped. Therefore, I feel like I should report CaroCoach. But first, let me go through the rules. This is for 4-player chess. But as you can see, you should not use multiple accounts. A report can be sent using the report option. Players shall not publicly accuse another player on the forum when suspecting a violation. Start religious or political debates or discuss illegal activities. Okay. So as you can tell, drawing games is when you resign in a winning position, or you just want to lower your rating for the sake of it. So, players involved. Let me post this game, or I should say in following games linked below. I have noticed that CaroCoach has won 8. Was it 8? I believe it was 8. So yeah, I've also played them on this account actually. I've beat them a few times. I've lost in these few games, and I lost, what is it, 1 to 3? Lost to them 2 to 3 in rapid time format, which is interesting. Although I did not find anything suspicious about these games. And I even talked to them about plans for white in the lines we played. However, sticking off topic, it does not discard the fact that Kanye too was resigning in winning positions against CaroCoach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Against Horde player Kanye. Kanye 2. In the following in the linked games, I have won. This one should be fine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I have found that 5 out of those 9 games were winning for clearly winning for Kanye 2. However, decided to resign in those positions, which leads me to believe that Kanye 2 is another account for CaroCoach. Is being used to lift the rating on CaroCoach. CaroCoach's account. Now let's link those games. Five nine 555 59 556 55 59 556 3 59 556. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. Another reason I believe Kenny 2 is another account for CaroCoach is that CaroCoach's account was created on November 14th, 2023. Link their account. This means and they have only played 5 chess games. 5 chess games. CaroCoach could not just suddenly have obtained such a level in Horde without have had played in the past with another account. This other in the following games linked below, I have noticed that CaroCoach has won 9 games in a row against former 2400 rated blitz Horde player Kenny 2. In the linked games, I have found that 5 out of those 9 games were clearly winning for Kenny 2. However, they decided to resign in those positions, which leads me to believe that Kenny 2 is another account for CaroCoach that is being used to lift the rating on CaroCoach's account. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Another reason I believe 2022 is another account for CaroCoach. Is that CaroCoach's account was created on November 14th, 2023, and they have only played 5 chess games. CaroCoach cannot just suddenly have obtained such a level in Horde without have had played in the past with another account. Thank you. Your report will be reviewed by administration. I hope you guys have at least been entertained. I tried to speak in a more calm tone, in a more relaxing tone this video. Hopefully, justice can be served. See ya, guys.